We are the Illuminated Group.
And our assigned topic
Is week 4, lesson 1 and 2.
Everyone, our lesson for today is on vulnerability assessment concepts and threat modeling approaches. So the objectives are understand vulnerability assessment. So vulnerability assessment is a process of which finding and checking weaknesses throughout the computer system, network, and even the hardware device, so that before the attackers attack, they can fix the threats within the system. For example, ang ilang company kay ginagawa nila every year din na sila yung nakita na threats or weaknesses na sila ang ilang software ba kay old version doon. So ang ginagawa sa vulnerability assessment kay sila ang mag-assess or sila ang mag-upgrade sa ilang new software kay baka ang weaknesses kay ma-fix and dili makuha sa attackers o hatagatan sila ang system sa company. Next is learn about threat modeling. So threat modeling is way to identify the threats o sila po daw mag-understand how threats attacks and sila ang maghatag way to prevent attacking for threats. So ang example na natin, before sila maghimo og app or website or anything na connected sa system, kay daghan sila og pangutana for the future purposes. For example, if kung unsa ba ka strict ilahang passwords within the device and kung unsa ba ka wide ang ilahang security kay para dili siya high risk sa mga threats na mga musulod sa system nila. So, dira na siyang mag-open ang two-way identification or two-way authentication factors kay para if naay attackers and threats na musulod sa system kay ang threat modeling ang mag-handle sa system kay baka more secured siya. So ang atong i-base kay ang difference jud ni vulnerability assessment o threat modeling approaches kay si vulnerability assessment kay siya ang mangita sa weakness sa systems, while threat modeling approaches kay siya ang mangitag way kung saan pag-ayos ang weakness na gihatag sa approach kay para ma-prevent ang threats o pagmansa. Ang last kay know why they are important in cybersecurity. So, kabalo ta in nowadays that cyber attack is common for all the companies and schools or anything related na makasulot ang threat. So, makahelp ang vulnerability assessment of threat modeling kay para sila ang mag-organize to improve the cyber security para dili siya high risk sa mga threats all along sa ilang system.
So now, let's talk about what is vulnerability assessment is. So vulnerability assessment is a process of finding and evaluating security weaknesses in a system, network, or application. These weaknesses are called vulnerabilities. Some common vulnerabilities examples are weak password, outdated software, missing security updates, and incorrect security settings. If these weaknesses are not fixed, makakuha og advantage ang mga hacker para masulod nila ang system and makuha nila ang mga information and madamage nila ang data sa system. For example, imagine sa online shopping. ang companies na gagamit nila ng outdated system, then lahat system is wala nag-update, makakuha ko, makatake advantage hacker para makuha nila personal info, address, o payment access. So, if ang company ay performs the vulnerability assessment, they could have identified the outdated software in advance. Then they installed the latest security updates and ma-fix nila ang problem before makasunod ang hacker. Really, example is sa atong balay, we need to secure first ang guba na bintana o ang guba na lock sa door para dili siya dali-dali makasunod sa kawatan. Then, next is we know what is vulnerability assessment. So let's discuss why it is important. So vulnerability assessment helps organizations protect their system and sensitive information by identifying security weaknesses before attackers the hacker. Then we could have protect sensitive information, prevent cyber attacks, reduces security risk, help organization fix weakness early and improve overall system security. So, vulnerability assessment is advantage po siya if ang company mag-use para ma-fix nila isang problem before hacker mo sunod sa system. Example is hospital. Bago pa mula ang sakit sa patient, kailangan nila kung sa dun ang problem first of all. Then that's all for vulnerability assessment.
So, good day everyone. I'm here to discuss the threat modeling, or what is threat modeling. So, threat modeling is the process of identifying possible threats before an attack happens. So, ang threat modeling ay kadalasan ginagamit na siya sa mga cyber securities para maingat ang mga exploitations na pwede mabuhat sa isang system or steps na siya buhato sa mga cyber security para mas makalikon ang isang system. And kadalasan ang siyang approach natin ay mag-penetrate sila in their own systems para maingat nila kung saan ang possible threats and possible exploitations na pwede na ito. And then, the common approach of threat modeling is there are three common approach. So, first guy is strike, and the second guy drill, tapos papatulo kay attack freeze. So, explain ito ang strike first. So, strike or STRIE or a threat calibration model developed by Microsoft that identifies 6 types of security threats. So, STRIE stands for first kind, spoofing, second, tampering, repudiation, information disclosure, denial of service, and elevation of privilege. So, first strike is spoofing. So, Spoofing is like pretending to be someone else. Then next, tampering. Tampering is modifying of data or code. Sa exploitation, if may kauna siya na ikasunod na modify ang data na nasa sulat or ang code mismo na nagpulita ng mga data. And next is revelation, denying actions without proof. Tapos, fourth, information disclosure or exposing sensitive data. So, obviously, if excluded isa ka system or possibilities sa system, possibilities na mga data nito ay exposed in the public. Like, for example, mga data na sensitive or private data lang, like the hospital. Nasa na yung mga sensitive data na dapat specific na mga tao lang ang pwede makabalo or ang patient na mismo pwede makabalo. Then, loss na siya kung kayo na-exploit ang isa ka database o isa ka system. Mga public ang sensitive data na. The next guy, denial of service. Kung ano man siya for fight, the denial of service or disrupting system availability. Possibilities na close ang isang system or mag-down siya or mag-uba siya. The next guy, elevation of privilege or gaining unauthorized higher access. Like, ang isa ka is exploit individual or itong hacker, like, pwede siyang gain of unauthorized access sa mga higher data or files na naasay sa company or sa institution. The next na ito common approach or model na ginagamit DREA or DREA na siya yung 5 factors and stands for damage for D, reproducibility, exploitability, affected users, discoverability, and discoverability. So, first, damage or kaya siya risk assessment kay ina-assess ay damage, how bad the impact is or possibility na kung saan kaya kadako ang impact if ma-exploit na siya pero ina-forecast na nila ang possible sa system if ma-exploit pero kung saan na the next step, reproducibility or how easily the attack can be repeated. So, if ang system can exploit na siya, syempre if wala action ng ako na there is a possible chance na magbuhat mo sa mundo sa atin pero natanggal na siya ako then wala kayo na sa mga sa wala kayo sa like sa reproducibility ma-repeat sa exploitation. So, ano siyang assessment? The producibility kaya score nila assess sila o something assessment siya na score siya if kung sa ka ang person sa exploitation kaya kung sa balik na po siya the next is exploitability, how easy it is to carry out kung sa kaya dali lang ba na masunod ang isang system kung scoring niya siya may balan, dali ra ba siya masunod or dali ra ma-explore ng system. Then fourth ay affected users. How many people are impacted? So, possible na itabo ay isa ka system kay roles, authority or na ay mga users, mga data na nasa users din, affected users. So, ina-score din ang pinaka-percent kaya ang mga exploit or data o nakuha or users, even though authorized na users, authorized o under something like mapektuhan sila pa sa kalako kaya or sa percent sila discoverability. How easy it is to find the vulnerability. So, simply kay discoverability or kung sa kanila kaya ma-identify sa isa ka users kung nabay exploit or vulnerable areas sa system. Una yan siya sa discoverability. And motto of 5 factors sa 3. So, and sa pag-scoring na to, those scores ay help to prioritize which threats to fix first. Something if kasi pinakadako ito sa 5, pinakadako na percent, kay mo ang mga tagaan ng action first. Next ay pagkulong ito sa common approach. And next approach ay yung attack phase or the diagnostic method that represents possible ways an attacker could achieve a goal. So, attack phase ay related siya sa mga node phase ay ano siya yung luha pa part, the root node yung pinaka-baba, and then ang branches itong scattered na branch. So, first, the root node is the attacker's objectives. So, ang root node dahil ko ang data, mga sensitive data, then mo na ilang sa hacker, sa mga hacker, mo na ilang purpose na mag-exploit sila mo na ilang target area ng mga reach. Then next kaya mga next part sa trees kaya mga branches shows different attack paths or sub-goals. Ang mga branches kaya ano siya para sa mga attackers sa perspective kaya branches kaya mo na steps or mga agianan nila para maabot sila sa root or kung pinakababa. Like, tira silang malaki sa mga branch o lulong sa pinakababa. Then, that phase, ano to ang two parts sa that phase and pinaka-important din na dapat protektahan. Next, wala na siya next. The attack phase helps visualize multiple strategies attackers might use and where defenses should be placed. So, kaya kanina model, may naman nato asa ang mga branches or asa ang mga nalagyan sa attackers or sa hacker. Pwede na if ma-identify nila sila, pwede na butak o mga some insecurities or mga firewalls sa kato ng mga branches hindi makabot sa root node ng isa ka attacker. And that's all. Thank you.
So to summarize,
vulnerability assessment finds security weaknesses. So, ang vulnerability assessment kay as katong yun na lang ni na tabangan niya ang organizations para ma-identify and ma-fix dahil yung weaknesses before pa siya maunahan sa attackers ng sa system. It helps organizations reduce risks and prevent attacks. And so threat modeling identifies possible threats before they happen. So together, kaning kay mga sila nag-improve sa cybersecurity at para maprotektahan ang mga important information. So before we end our discussion, kailangan 3 questions for you guys to answer. So first, why is vulnerability assessment important? What will we explain lovely? Second, how does threat modeling help organizations get on jump? And third, what is one example of a vulnerability that organizations should fix first? Hey everyone, so we'll proceed to the lesson 2, which is the attack surfaces and trust boundaries. So in our objectives, understand attack surfaces, explain trust boundaries, learn how they help protect systems from cyber attacks. So these are the most important concepts in cybersecurity para matukalan niya nilang organizations para ma-identify asa ang attacks pwede makitabo and it's how pag-protect sa system in advance. So in this lesson, we will explain what attack surfaces and trust boundaries are, o nga importante sila, and kung saan sila paggamit in real life basis or real life situations.
Hey everyone, I'm here to discuss the attack surface of the system analysis. So first, what is the attack surface? Attack surface refers to all the possible entry points where an attacker could attempt to access or exploit a system. These entry points can exist in hardware, software, networks, or even simple human interactions. The larger the attack surface, the more opportunities that an attacker has to find vulnerabilities. So it means that ang attack surface kay wala sila ang surfaces pwede siya agian sa isang attacker or kanang mga possible vulnerabilities or possible areas na ay mga vulnerabilities tapos kana na vulnerabilities pwede gamitin sa isang attacker na masulod isa ka sa i-discuss sa lesson 1 masulod ang root tricks or roots of it. And this is how to discuss ang examples sa mga surfaces na pwede niya ay pwede mag-iani sa isang attackers. So first example kay website, second is email accounts, third kay mobile applications, fourth is the Wi-Fi networks, and lastly is the cloud services. So, ang website ay it is exposed to attacks like SQL injections or cross-site scripting. Then second ay email accounts target is for phishing and credential theft. Sample lang kay mga link, email accounts sila. So, example lang kay mga link sa Facebook or sa Messenger na mag-send o link or scam sa Facebook na post like sa mga games sa ML na sa kanil daw na kung pinutan mo ay mga tagaw diamonds, mga tagaw golds, mga tagaw skin, tapos pag pindot mo na kay inuhang magpa-type na sila o something ID, magpa-type o email address, password, kaya para sila daw mismo ang mo send sa diamonds or sa skin sa mga ka. Then, if dili kayo, dili ko kayo security, dili kayo something educated lang sa individual o security, talaga sila na i-type nila yung mga credentials dito. Tapos, ano siya, mag-result na siya mag-exploitation or phishing, makuha mo na ang credentials, makuha na identity, something like that. The third is the mobile applications. Mobile applications will leak data or allow unauthorized access of persons. If you want mo siya, masagtan naman siya na mobile applications can leak your data or allow unauthorized access. And second, then fourth guy, Wi-Fi network. So, vulnerable to eavesdropping or man-in-the-middle attacks. Then fifth, cloud services can be exploited through misconfiguration or weak authentication. If ang isang cloud service na hindi nagamit kay na siya weak authentication or weak ang mga application, siyempre mga password, gusto niya yung if weak ang naka-ano or weak ang nangingutang or gulang sa user, pwede na siya ma-discover sa exploitation. Next time, ang importance of the attack surface. Understanding and managing the attack surface is very crucial for maintaining strong cybersecurity. It has five importance. So first, it identifies possible entry points. Second, reduces security risk. Third, improves system protection. Four, prevents unauthorized access. And fifth, supports continuous monitoring. First, it identifies possible entry points. It helps us to map where threats could originate. Then second, reduces security risk. So it helps us by minimizing unnecessary exposure. So attack surface daw ay attack surface daw ay help sa to minimize unnecessary exposure. Makahelp sa system to minimize ang mga exposure sa mga attack surfaces. Diba, attack surface kay something mga areas na prone sa exploitation. So, if kabalo ta sa importance sa attack surface or sa pag-manage anak niya, kay ma-minimize nato ang mga entry point sa exploitation para hindi siya masundan o something masundan sa attackers. And next kay prevents unauthorized access. So by closing gaps before attackers find them. Same na siya sa number 3, but more specific kaya 4, kaya help siya na atong mga gap na pwede sundan kay if knowledgeable ta sa attack services kay as a developer or as a something na pwede siya ma-close ang mga gaps para hindi sa mga sundan ng mga attackers. Fifth, supports continuous monitoring, ensuring yung vulnerabilities are detected early. And one of
Just boundaries. So the trust boundaries is separated trusted parts of system from untrusted parts. So it's like security checkpoint wherein the system whenever verifies you if authorize ka or authorize ka sa system. So, ang example na kay internet, firewall, o company network. Pero if magatag ko example na mas makasabot ko, which is inside the school. So, inside the school is the trusted area. Students and teachers are allowed to go inside the school. Outside the school, kay mauna siya ang untrusted area. Many people surroundings outside the school and basig na ay uban good na ay bad thoughts for you. And ang school gate pass kay mao na siya ang class boundaries kay mga school gate pass one of security guard na siya ang mag-decide whenever okay ka masulod sa school or dili kay na kay mga dala deadly weapon or something. So, other hand, kay ang company kay internal network is considered trusted because only authorized people lang siya allowed inside. O ang security controls kay such as firewall, passwords, and user authentications kay makatabang po siya on help and protect these trust boundaries by preventing unauthorized access. So, mas eager jud trust boundaries for our system. Importance about trust boundaries kay kakabalot nga ang trust boundaries kay important for protecting sensitive information, controls user access, prevent unauthorized access, and improve network security. So, they are important because system unauthorized access is unable to na makasulod sa ato system. They make sure na adjusted users kay sila lang ang makasulod sa ato system to secure more about our system. They help organize and separate trusted users to untrusted users by using security control like firewalls, authentication, and even more than organization prevent unauthorized access. And one of the example kay when you log into your email, the login page data is the trusted boundaries because mag-type man ka sa imong password before letting you in sa website. That login page kay mao na ang trusted boundary kay kung ang imong user kay wala nag-connect sa among website kay dili ka makasulod then kinakuan ka nga as unauthorized nga dili ka maka-access sa among website.
So, to summarize for today's lesson, which is lesson 2, so an attack surface refers to the possible entry points. It means na ang attack surface daw is ang entry points para maka-access ang mga attackers para makasulod sa system. When the attack surface is larger, the more opportunities attackers have to find weaknesses sa inyong system. So when organization should identify and reduce unnecessary attack, they need to remove unused services, then updating their software, and they need to strengthening security settings. So we also learned that trust boundaries, kaya separate ang mga trusted and untrusted parts sa system. So, nagdapat ko ni ang trust boundaries to control kung kinsa o unsa na ang mga access na important dito sa users. To checking and verifying requests before allowing access. So when organization understand both attack surface and trust boundaries, they can build stronger cybersecurity defenses and maka-reduce of security risk, and they create a better protect sensitive information from cyber attacks. And then, before we end our presentation, they have a few discussion question for everyone to think about it. So first is, what is an attack surface and why it is important, which is what John discussed. Second is how to do trust boundaries and improve cybersecurity and protect an organization network. And lastly is what security measures can organization use to reduce cyber risk and protect their system from attackers. So feel free to share your ideas or example based on what we discussed today. Thank you for listening, and we hope you learned something new about the organization protect their system from cyber attacks.
That's all. Thank you for watching.